Okay, Math 9. Math 9, this is Friday for you. So Math 9, we have actually finished Chapter 8. You just did the symmetries section. It's Friday, so I'll be checking that today. As of Thursday evening when I'm recording this, I really haven't had any questions yet on it. If I do find there are questions, I will either answer you privately if it's something quick that I can answer, or if I find that it's a big problem among a lot of people, I can make a quick video and just post it real fast. But usually symmetry is the one that people go, oh, I like this because it's a little easier. We're going to have a test on Tuesday. I'm going to have a test on Tuesday. So, sorry. So on Tuesday, the test will be on Chapter 8. Now we have a couple of new people in the group. My suggestion to you, if you have not been here for the whole chapter, is that you try the test anyway. And if you can only do the sections that you were here for, that's fine. If you can handle the rest of it, that's fine too. But give it a try. Why not? It will just let you know what you know and what you don't know. No biggie. So for everybody else, yes, you need to know how to do this. And yes, it goes towards your final marks. So you will want to do well on that. Sorry, a ladybug was flying in front of me just randomly. So I want to quickly go over what each of the sections are. This will not take long. I will probably post some review questions out of the review section that would be ones like what I would ask you on a test. If you do them for practice for the test, perfect. If you think, hey, I got this, I don't need to, that's up to you. I'm supplying the questions for you as a study tool. You decide what you want to do with that, all right? So section 8.1. 8.1 was translations. Translations mean to actually move the graph left, right, up, and down. Now, there were some different ways that we can communicate the information for a translation. We could do it in words. We could say go for, up is not usually first. Let's say we could go 4 left and 2 up, okay? So if I wanted to describe in words what to do, or if I gave you the picture and said what happened here, you could say the graph got moved 4 left and 2 up. You could say that. Another way to communicate the information is in an ordered pair. But to know that it's not like just a point on a graph, to know it is like directions of what to do, instead of putting round brackets, they put square brackets. Now left would be negative, so -4 and 2. So if I said do this to this picture of a triangle, this would be telling you move it 4 to the left and move it 2 up. The last way to communicate that information would be by a mapping rule. And so it would say you start with an ordered pair like x and y, and you subtract 4 to your x's, and you add 2 to your y's. This is called the mapping rule. This is called an ordered pair. This is called just describing it in words. It all communicates exactly the same information. It just communicates it in a different way. All right, so I could give it to you in an ordered pair and say, give me this information as a mapping rule, and you would have to write it this way. So I can ask you to give it to me in different ways. Or I may just do where you have to draw a triangle and actually move the triangle that amount. I could do any of those. Again, please pay attention to the directions on the test. If I say give the location or what are the new points, it didn't ask you to draw anywhere. You would not be required to draw. Now, if you would rather draw it because you are more visual and it helps you to see it, I don't mind if you draw it. That's fine. I'll still give you full points. But if I don't specifically say draw the image, you don't have to draw the image, okay? You can if you want to, though. For me, I do anyway because I just like it better. It helps me. But it's up to you. So 8.1 is translations, moving the graph left, right, up, down. 8.2 is reflections. Now I want to tell you that there's all different types of reflections, but in grade 9 we only deal with 2 of them. We deal with reflections in the x-axis, and that is when you change your y values, you change the sign on your y values, and we reflect it in the x-axis, and that's when you change the sign on your x values. All right, and so if the point is 3 and 2 and I say reflected in the x-axis, you're going to change the sign on your y values and your new point will be 3 and -2. All right? Most people do okay with reflections. Then we get to rotations. 8.3 is rotations. This is where we dealt with actually turning the graph 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and it could be clockwise or counterclockwise. That is the one, honestly, that I struggle with, and traditionally it is the one that more people struggle with than any other section in this chapter. And that's not to say that everybody finds it hard and nobody can do it. I'm just saying if you're going to have a problem, that's more often the one. So if you are struggling, that might be where you need to focus your time, is on the rotations. Again, if you're choosing what do I need to review, where should I do more practice questions, do more practice questions on the section that you struggled with the most, whatever that happens to be. 8.4, we dealt with dilatations. And that is really either reducing the size of a shape, making it get smaller, or enlarging the size of a shape, making it get bigger. And that really was done with a mapping rule. So if this was your mapping rule, that would mean that you would multiply all of your x and your y values by 4. And so whatever shape you had would get 4 times bigger. If it was something like this, where there was a fraction less than 1 in front of the x and the y, that would mean that is a reduction, and this shape would get 1/4 small, like it would be 1/4 the size of the original. There's this ladybug that's flying around driving me crazy. Okay, so again, you would just multiply all your x's by 1/4, all your y's by 1/4 to get your new shape. And that really is all there is to it, nothing too hard. I'm flicking that ladybug away. 8.5 is the one we just finished. 8.5 is symmetry. We dealt with 2 kinds of symmetry. We dealt with lines of symmetry, and we dealt with turn symmetry. So, I want some space. So, lines of symmetry is how many lines can I draw so that it's the same on one side of the line as it is on the other. And turn symmetry is how many times can I kind of turn the shape and I wouldn't be able to tell that I had turned it. So if you have, now I can't draw, you know this about me, so if this was a perfect star, all right, this would have a turn symmetry of 5, because it wouldn't matter whether this point was on top or this point was on top or this one or this one or this one. You, in theory, wouldn't be able to tell the difference. All right. So that is pretty much it. Nothing else there. So again, I will post some questions that out of the review. The review is on page 320 and 321. Ones that would be kind of like what I would ask you. And then Monday will be a study day. So I'll just put a little reminder on Monday that it's a study day. If you have questions, let me know. And if not, the test will be Tuesday morning at 8:30. So you will need to log in and just do your normal login at 8:30, upload the test, write the test by 9:40. It should be uploaded into Google Classroom so that I can see it. And you guys know if it's not there by 9:40, I start nagging you, right? That's I start going after you a little bit. So you've all done really well with this in the past. It has not been a problem. Everybody's been great. So that's it. Have a good weekend. And I will talk to you again. I won't talk to you really on Monday, so Tuesday. Good luck on the test.